Do you think the 49ers will win the Super Bowl this year with Brock Purdy? You're the biggest proponent of Brock Purdy. You saw him. You were on to him first. And as someone who is driving the Brock Purdy train, what do you think? Right. Is going to go all the way?
Wow. I mean, the more I watch it, the more I think that even though I believed in him, that I didn't believe enough as I needed to believe. I mean, I did 2 or 3 interviews with him. If I really believed, I would have done like 5 interviews with him.
Right, of course. No one, and that's why this story's so great. Like, no one saw this coming. Are you kidding? I mean, he's making it look easy. He's bored out there.
There's so much substance to Brock Purdy. That's the other part about this that's so enjoyable, is that it's not flash in the pan or wow, he's hot, or I mean, I'm not going to say who it was, but there was a beat writer who bet me $1 that he wouldn't make the team over Nate Sudfeld.
I think I know who it was.
And he harassed me and said, "You said it was a lock." I said, "It is a lock." He said, "It's a lock." Yes, it's a lock. I want my $1. No, but no, I mean,
it wasn't me.
There were people who thought that he was so bad that he would get cut, and that they would go with Sudfeld not that long ago. So look where he's at now. I would say that the more I watch him, the more I think he's got special traits. I mean, that the throw. I mean, he puts the ball on the money more times than not. He's got good numbers on the deep balls. He keeps his legs under him, so he throws with a solid base a lot more than you would think. And he's accurate for the most part. I think he sees it pre-snap. Kyle said something that I know that you had to have seen, Grant, when he said, I forget what the question was, but he said something to the effect of like, I can call the game the way I want to, or I can call everything I want to call with him, or something to the effect of like the entire arsenal is open with this quarterback. Yep. Without saying it, without ripping the other guys. Yes. He just kind of complimented this guy. But I mean, when your head coach says that he's got a full arsenal, he can do anything with you, and that you have more poise than any rookie he's ever seen. Yeah. And then you got guys like Dante Whitner and Bill Romanowski who know a little thing or two about football. And both of them, Romo practiced against Joe Montana and went on a podcast this week and said he reminds him of Joe Montana. And Romo's
I
really
feel the same.
intelligent.
I said it first. I said it before Bill Romanowski.
You said Joe Montana?
He reminds me of Joe Montana very much.
What does your dad say?
Joe's a little before my time. He didn't disagree.
Does he not buy into it?
No,
or does he buy into it?
He's quite intrigued. I'm not saying he's the next Joe Montana, but I mean,
there's a lot of Montana traits.
The calmness, the poise, the foot quickness, the accuracy.
He's got a cold-blooded side too.
The lack of arm strength. I'm just saying, like you say, hey, he's got a really weak arm. Not a weaker arm than Joe. You can't write him off because of his arm strength. So, and then when you start going through the similarities between him and Joe, it's like, well, wow. And right now, to me, he's looking like a poor man's Joe. And if he wins the Super Bowl, he won't be a poor man's Joe.
I mean, what a story that it would be. That's in Arizona. He's from Arizona. That's
a good point.
The kid. I mean, it's really an amazing story, but he's more. I might as well stick with it. I mean, yeah, I do think it's possible. It's what's the date today? The 20th of December. I think it's possible that the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl in Brock Purdy's backyard with Brock Purdy at quarterback.
Feels like destiny, right? There's a little bit of weirdness going on here. It's destiny.
In some ways, Grant, too, it would give Kyle Shanahan a forever seat at the discussion of the most amazing discussion of all time when it comes to his category, which is who's the greatest coach of all time? Because every bar room from now on, they'll go Lombardi, Walsh, Belichick. Wait a second.
Hold on.
Somebody's going to say,
hold on.
But Kyle Shanahan in 2023 won a Super Bowl with his third string quarterback. That makes him the best of all time. Believe me, that's going to happen.
It could.
If you know that Kyle, somebody will be making that argument in bars for the next 50 years if Purdy and the Niners win the Super Bowl this year.
He's going to have to win more than one Super Bowl to become the best head coach of all time. But we don't need to go down that hypothetical road.
I'm not saying it's
fact.
We don't need to go
there, but no, I feel you.
You're going to hear it in bars.
People will say it. It'll piss me off, and I'll be sitting there just having a nice time drinking my drink with my wife being like, hold on! No! Anyway, no. I do think they could win the Super Bowl. I think they have a better chance now with Brock than they had with Jimmy, which is amazing.
That is amazing.
I really think Philly's the truth. And I think Philly's I think they have a better roster than the Niners. Like, their offensive line is what the Niners' offensive line should be. Sean's over here saying that there's a noticeable philosophical difference between the Niners and the Seahawks and the Eagles. The Niners prioritize D-line. Philly prioritizes O-line. Actually, Philly spends a bunch on their D-line too. They prioritize the trenches. The Niners spend a bunch of money on linebackers and running backs, which make them a little bit unique. Those are two positions that most teams don't spend on. The Niners do, and it works out for them. It does. But, yeah, I think Philly's the truth, and that's going to be tough to go and beat them. And then Buffalo is – I know Josh Allen's expensive, but not too expensive yet. That defense is really good. Yeah. And then the Kansas City destroyed the Niners. So those three teams, I still wonder how the Niners match up. But any one other than those three teams, the Niners are better than.
Yeah. I mean – Kansas City, I don't know what to say about Kansas City anymore. I mean, Mahomes, Reed, Chris Jones. Chris Jones is like Mean Joe Green and Aaron Donald all rolled into one against the Niners. And
it's true.
This last game, Willie Gay, Bolton, Snead. I mean, you name it. They got like 7 impact guys on their defense.
And as great as Mahomes is, Kelsey's like damn near just as good. He's so uncoverable.
Kelsey, and you couldn't stay within a country mile of guys like Hardman, and they just got a ton of weapons, and they got Mahomes. So I'm kind of hoping, if you're a Niner fan, I think you got to hope that maybe Dallas knocks off Philly, because you can handle Dallas. Yeah. I mean, Dallas, you can run on Dallas, and the Niners can run up and down the field on Dallas, and then Prescott will turn it over, and the Niners will blow Dallas out. But in the AFC, I think
ideally you don't have to face any of those three teams, and somehow you get Dallas and Minnesota and Cincinnati. That's the ideal path for the 49ers. It could happen.
Maybe Buffalo, because Buffalo's run game's not great. And if you could,
it's Josh Allen.
Yeah.
It's Josh Allen. But the thing about that scares me is the Niners' Achilles heel on defense is the quarterback scramble on 3rd and long. So that's Josh Allen.
Has a presence about him that's like you feel like he's going to win the games he's in.
Yeah, so that one scares me a little bit. I mean, it's like he's almost as good as Mahomes, if not as good, and he has a defense. Mahomes does not have a defense. Not really.
What would be the spread in the Super Bowl if it was Niners-Bills or Niners-Chiefs? What do you think the spread would be?
Well, the Niners would be underdogs because of the Purdy factor.
Right.
Yeah. So, 3, 4, 5 points.
What an incredible story that would be if Brock Purdy as an underdog beat one of those quarterbacks in his backyard as a rookie, as Mr. Irrelevant.
It would be the greatest story of all time.
It was a Disney movie.
Oh, yeah, it's a Disney movie. Like straight, immediately.